Welcome back to Conversations in Data by Techsalerator, the show where we dig into the minds of the people who are building with data. I'm your host, Clara, and today I have a fascinating guest joining me. Danielle Gelander is head of product management at Rayzone Group, a cyber intelligence company out of Tel Aviv that's using AI to help organizations go from raw data to real actionable intelligence. Danielle, welcome. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get into the data world, can you give me a quick version of your journey?
Okay, so it's not a very straightforward path in some ways, but it kind of is. So in the Army, I was in the intelligence force in a 200 unit, and there I used to do a job that incorporated both the technological side and the intelligence side. So I knew a lot of intelligence software as an end user, and I got familiar with how they work, how we get the data, what our sources are, and how, as an intelligence analyst, we actually use it. So I know both sides of the end user and the software side. After the Army, I worked for almost 2 years in ELTA, which is a company of the Air Force industry of Israel. And I did QA. And from there, I went to university to get my bachelor's degree in biology and philosophy in a program called Study of Consciousness, which has nothing to do with cyber intelligence technology whatsoever. So then when I graduated, I wanted to get back into like the more technological field. I started doing QA at a company called Neutrino, which was working with Medtronic in their diabetes department. And from there, I moved to the data science team, and we were working on machine learning algorithms, which is nowadays presented as AI, the big word that everyone loves to say. So that's how I got familiarized with more like the whole AI automated processes. And there, I started working under the product management team. I did a product management course of the Technion Institute. And then I kind of look for my next challenge, and I wanted to get back a little bit into the intelligence field. So I contacted some people in Rayzone Group, which I knew from previously from ELTA. We connected, and they were just looking for a product manager. And that's how I joined the force, and I'm there ever since.
Wow, amazing. That is such an impressive background. That's so interesting to me. And yeah, you must have such knowledge and such information that would blow my mind. So I'm very excited for us to get into this chat today about data, AI, machine learning, and whatever else. But again, thanks for giving us a little intro. Now let's get into the data world of cyber intelligence and getting into a little bit more about Rayzone. For listeners who haven't come across your company yet, how would you describe it? How would you describe what you guys do?
So basically, Rayzone, as a title, is a cyber intelligence, cybersecurity company. We sell a very wide range of products, from physical hardware products to software products. We have a lot of different departments and different marketing strategies to different markets, depending on the product that we sell. So my product team, we work solely on the SaaS products, the software products. And even within that, we have both the software itself, the product, the UI that you can use, that we use to analyze all the data and all our sources. And most of our products, we also have an offering to our API to just use our data and be able to integrate it into essentially any product, any system that our customers are using within. We are very flexible in that department. And that's one of our strengths as to other competitors in the market, that we are very adaptable. We have a lot of solutions, very wide range, and we can adapt almost each and every one of them tailor-made to the need of the customer.
Okay, very impressive. How many people do you guys have in the company since you're doing so many things? And then the second question is hardware. Wow, you don't see companies do that and cyber and AI and tech at the same times. Can you tell me a little bit more about those two things?
We have a lot of different departments. Most of us are in Israel. We have some little offices and partners in different countries. And the solutions that we develop are mostly software or an integrative software to a hardware. We have like a set of products that are more like physical products that collect data for intelligence operations. And we have softwares that you can operate as an intelligence analyst.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing that with me. I didn't know about that, about Rayzone, so I appreciate it. But alrighty. So, there's a phrase that says don't just gather data, gain insights, and it's everywhere in your messaging. But in a world where everyone says that, what does it actually mean at Rayzone? What does real insight look like in practice for you guys?
So, what it means is to add the additional layer above the layer of the metadata that we receive. A lot of our products collect a lot of different types of data, like location data, or we have products that collect from cars. It's called current. We have border control products. We have products that have a lot of different sources. Even the geolocations, we can get them from the ad-ent world. We can get them from the cellular world. It's a lot of different sources, sometimes same data from two different or more multiple different sources, sometimes even different data that we have. And the insight part is, I think, where we as a company can give our added value, where we know how to take all the different data from all the different sources, fuse them together into one cohesive intelligence picture. So at the end of the day, our clients are law enforcement agencies, national security agencies, public safety. We have customs and narcotics that we give an answer to with our products, border protection, even financial industries, some of our products are being used for. So our added value is taking all the data that we have, and we do have a lot of sources that collect data for us and fusing it into one intelligence picture that answers the questions that our customers have.
That is so interesting. You have the Stimulus AI engine, virtual cyber analyst. From your seat, how do you communicate AI capabilities without it just becoming another buzzword like everyone's using, especially to a government or law enforcement audience that's, pretty skeptical?
Yeah. And not only skeptical, a lot of the challenges that we deal with daily is that a lot of the data of the customers is on-prem, meaning we might not have access to it at all. They might not share it with us. So we have to find like workarounds, ways to monitor it. So in relations to the AI part, it connects to what I said earlier. It is the layer that takes all the data and metadata and helps to create it into a picture. So we market it as our added value, what the product does. Okay. Everybody can collect data. Some can do it better. We have our set of special capabilities that were developed in house that is only unique to us. But then what do you do with it? In order for an intelligence analyst to get an insight and to find answer to his questions, which would be whether he's investigating a crime scene, whether they're investigating drug trafficking, whether they're trying to see if someone is trying to smuggle into a country or anything like that, whether someone is trying to commit a fraud on insurance companies, there are a lot of questions that need answers. And those answers don't always rise 100% from the data, the dry stats as they come to us. What we can do using years and years of experts from fields like mine when I was in 8200, a lot of people that were in the police force for a lot of years, a lot of people that worked in other agencies like that. Combined with those expertise, we use AI to create those insights to help answer the question and not just present the data. Let's say this is the location you were looking at, this is another location. What's the connection between them? How can I find my suspect? It's like either you're starting an investigation from a lot of data and we help you narrow it down into answering the questions that you need, or you have a specific question, a person that you're looking for, or I don't know, a place that you want to see. And we help build up and fill up that picture with more and more data, as I said, fused from multiple sources to provide you with the answer that you want. So the AI is basically used as a layer of finding your way within all the data that we can provide, finding insights and better answers.
Sounds very sophisticated. And how long has Rayzone been around?
So Rayzone was first founded in 2010. So we've been acting for 16 years. We currently operate in over 60 countries with more than 100 different customers and thousands of end users to our softwares. So we're very well based with our community, the people that consume the intelligence that we are providing.
Very cool. Alrighty. Well, cyber intelligence companies have a complicated reputation. Tools built for security can sometimes be misused for surveillance or journalists or activists. How does a product navigate that? Do you think the industry needs to do better on ethics?
So I don't want to speak for the industry. I can just testify as what I know in Rayzone Group and what we do. So for us, there's no gray area. It's either black or white. We're either allowed by law to sell to certain countries and customers and organizations within the countries, or we're not. We will never do something that we consider as iffy or we're not sure. We're 100% on that. We have a very good legal team that checks every single minor detail to the last letter of every contract to make sure that we're not getting into that gray area, because that's a statement of Rayzone that we're not doing anything that's even remotely suspicious.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you didn't have all that legal team and all those ethics, you wouldn't be around for 16 years, right? So that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Now, getting into the product in a sensitive industry, like we were saying, let's talk about your role specifically. Product in cybersecurity and intelligence is its own beast, right? You're often selling to a buyer who can't even publicly acknowledge they're your customer. How do you think about go to market in that context?
So for us, it really depends. We have our marketing team that is constantly working on finding new leads and creating new connections and sustaining existing connections with the customer success and everything. And my team, which we do like the more technical product messaging and the product management itself, we work closely with the marketing team trying to figure out what's the market trends right now, what is the next big thing, what is a field that we are not in and we want to get into. But it's a very challenging field. As I said, it's on the one hand very obvious who our potential customers are. It's in some way limiting, but we constantly work on trying to adapt and be able to get into more and more industries and provide our clients with more solutions so that we can have a wider variety of customers all the time. It's a constant process.
Yeah, it is. It's always a process and it's always improving that process so you can keep the clients, bring on new clients, just part of the deal.
Exactly. And as I said, we're very driven to give a custom made solution for the customer. So either an existing product, whatever they wish to have, we are very open communicating with our existing users, asking them what they need, trying to get feedback on what features are missing, what fixes they need, and also in new markets. Try to constantly see what other competitors are suggesting. This year, we launched a whole new field called car intelligence. We're the first one to actually go out to the market with this offering of collecting intelligence from vehicles, and that could be used in a lot of different fields. So I feel like we're working very hard to constantly renew what we can offer both existing customers and new customers.
Yeah, and I appreciate the company's flexibility that goes hand in hand with improvement and better sales and everything else. So that's
Exactly.
also a must. But alrighty. Well, now what's the role of data in your own marketing strategy internally? Are you using a lot of data to understand your buyers, your marketing positioning? What's resonating?
So it's complicated. We have a lot of different ways to utilize data. So I look at the data that we have as two different data sets. We have the actual data that we provide to the customers, which means managing our sources, seeing how we can make more sources, what other types of intelligence we can provide, whether it's OSINT or Visint or all types of different sources that we currently have, how we can improve those and our access to it without getting into too much details. And the other bucket of data is the data that is the usage of our end users, how they use the system. This is data that me as a product manager, I need to monitor and check and see what within the product is valuable, what they use, what they don't use, how they operate our systems. Sometimes we can find that's also a challenge because we can't see the actual data of the customer because that's classified to them. But we can see, let's say, what features they use, where they click. We can connect a photo of like what funnels they tend to use, what they don't tend to use, and from that draw conclusions to what features we need to enhance, to enlarge, what features are maybe not as necessary and need to like get a reboot and update and stuff like that. And we constantly work on improving our UX and UI for all of our software products to make the data more accessible. Because I think that it's the key to the intelligence is how you utilize the data that you have. A lot of companies can have access to the same data that we do, to more data, to less data, to more data from that source, to less data from that source. The core, the main value that we can provide is how we integrate the data, a lot of data from different sources, one, and two, how we built those insights, those AI based insights that are based on expertise and patterns and learning pattern behaviors to create the most valuable intelligence picture to the end user at the end of the day.
Yeah. My next point that I wanted to cover with you, it's at Techsalerator, we play in the B2B data space, and a lot of our clients think about data as a product. Do you think most companies, even sophisticated, huge ones, fundamentally underestimate how hard it is to turn data into a compelling, sellable product story?
No, I don't think so. I think that companies, sophisticated companies, complex companies, companies that work for several years and have experience know how hard it is that you have all the data, but how you actually package it in your product to make it valuable. As I said, that is the value that you can provide to the customer. That is what is going to make them choose your product over your competitor. If your product uses the data in a way that it's useful and valuable to them and helps them answer the questions that they're looking for, specifically in the intelligence field.
Yeah. Looking at where AI and data intelligence are heading, what excites you most in the next couple of years? And what keeps you up at night, maybe scared about it?
I'm going to give you a very philosophical answer as a philosophic master's.
Please.
That's what I was trained to do. What I'm most excited about is what I can't even imagine yet. I mean, things that I know now using AI and everything and how it advanced and made a lot of processes easier and faster. Let's say if I take like product management, you used to have to sit down and draw wireframing and screens, hand draw them. And then you had the computer and you can use software to draw it nicely and have the squares perfectly done on Figma and et cetera, et cetera. And now you have AI based softwares like Lovable, where I can write a prompt in human language and get a design. And I can write another sentence to fix what I want. And it's super easy. And it just makes everything accessible to anyone. Again, with a little hesitation, saying you need to know exactly how to ask the question to get the right answer you want, right? So AI can provide you with any answer, but to get a correct answer, a good answer, you have to ask the good question and ask it correctly. But what I'm most excited about is what I haven't seen yet and what I can't even imagine and where the AI would go further. That's why I'm really like excited about and also scared.
It's just a big question mark, and that's very philosophical, definitely. So thanks for bringing that side of Danielle over to this data AI podcast. I appreciate it.
Gladly.
A lot of people don't know what data is. They have hesitations. They don't trust when people talk about data. They are scared of data. Like, what are they doing with my information, with that information? Why do they need that information? What's one thing about the data industry that you wish more people understood?
I don't think I have good news in that context. Anytime you download an app or go to a website, you consent to something you never read, right? The big companies, Google, Meta, whatever, they have so much of our information just from having the app and not even using it, just viewing things constantly. All of our devices are sensors, essentially. that send out a lot of our information, specifically personal information with social media and stuff like that. So that is a concern. And I've been aware of that ever since I was in the army, where they taught us not to upload certain pictures or locations and stuff like that. What I would advise people is, first of all, you kind of have no choice but to trust the system and hope that the people that take your data don't misuse it and stay committed to the law and don't pass it on to third parties. There are breaches. There are a lot of hackers out there trying to constantly and succeeding to get data, and people, banks and stuff like that, insurance company keep on trying to make better and better security for their databases. And but it's inevitable, right? It's the technological world, the internet, and all of it. It's inevitable that our data would leak out somehow, somewhere. Just be mindful and beware. Try to minimize the things that you share on your platform. Let's say for me, I never connect my phone number to my Facebook account. Try to make it a little more difficult for hackers or whoever malicious trying to get your information to get it. Don't maybe save your credit card details on your browser. Always have to like manually type it. Just like the little things like that that you can avoid and are within your control. Let's say on Facebook or Instagram, have a private account. Don't share your email. Do the minimum steps that you can to keep your safety as much as you can.
Yeah, that's definitely something that, people don't want to hear. And I think it's because we just want things to be so easy these days. The more the years pass and the decades pass, we just want things to be easy, right? Oh my goodness, I don't want to have to put my credit card information for the third time today to do this from all these things that I need from, I don't know, Amazon, I don't know, Target or whatever. So people want things to be easy, and that comes with a price. Everything does in life.
Exactly.
So that is very much true and a concern. And yeah, well, thank you so much for sharing those security points. I could go on for hours. It's happened to me so many times. I've been aware of so many scandals as well. And when I lived in the US and I was, 100% fed US news about, huge companies, huge telephone companies that I won't name right now, having data breaches and all the social security numbers, which is the most prized possession of an American is their social security number. All of them that are clients of this company, they got leaked. So that is severe. That is horrible. I was a victim once. Not gonna name the hospital. I went to the hospital just for a checkup or whatever. Then I got mail. I got mail in my house from the FBI. From the
Wow.
FBI saying that there was a data breach, and then the hackers got my medical slash health information. When I saw that mail from the FBI, I was like, well, nice
That's
knowing
it.
everyone. I don't know what I could have possibly done, but it's over for me. But yeah,
Yeah. So it's also important to keep in mind that I don't think you need to walk around the world being scared to use the internet or go on certain websites or use those apps. You can do it. Just be aware. Some reaches can happen sometimes, but for everything, there is a solution. Let's say your credit card details were stolen. Most companies would know as soon as it happens, they will contact you. You can
yeah,
switch to a new card, and that's okay. If your Facebook account, your Instagram account gets, I don't know, blocked or snatched or whatever, you can just change the password. Just be wary. You don't have to walk around being scared all the time of things that can happen. It can happen. Once it
yeah,
does, you just have to find a way to deal with it. And also remember, hackers don't really usually want the data to themselves. They are trying to sell it. So you're not super exposed. No one's going to look up exactly why you visited the hospital at that time. So it's also something that's kind of nice to keep in mind.
yeah, no, definitely. It was just a big scare of the big name when I got the mail, and then I opened it and I was like, well, they can do whatever I want with my weight and I don't know,
Yeah.
my kidney stones or whatever it is. Anyways, Danielle, this has been such a refreshing, interesting conversation showing me sides of, industries that I've never seen before. So we don't often get a peek into the world of intelligence like this. And you've made it both accessible and fascinating. So Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I also had a really nice time chatting. It was really fun.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, thanks to our listeners as well, and I hope you like this one. Bye.